Okay, on my bench today is my VX16 or Vertex 16 engine that came out of my Redcat Shockwave buggy. Because of a racing or a running incident I had to disassemble the entire buggy to assess parts damage. So while I had the engine out, part of what happened was on the very last start to get it running, the pull start string came out. And I know in the past I've messed with these, and I think I've actually maybe even fixed a couple of them because the string didn't break, it just pulled out. Now I know there's some big spring in here and it's a real clusterfuck, but I'm gonna try. But for the just for the hell of it, I'm gonna go ahead and just take this back cover off. This engine is in fine shape, the clutch is fine, so there's really no reason. It's got excellent compression, so there's really no reason for me to do any disassembly of this engine, even though that's what I like to do. There's no reason for me to do that aside from pulling this back cover off and seeing if there's any way I can milk a little bit more life out of this pull starter before I decide whether I'm going to invest in parts to get this buggy running again. Obviously, running the buggy is irrelevant if you can't start the engine, so it's either repair this pull starter, replace the pull starter, or replace the entire mechanism with a drive backplate and an electric starting wand. Believe it or not, the pull starter itself is like $33, and the starting wand and everything is about $38 without a battery. With a battery it becomes like $60. Okay, so here we go. One-way bearing here, and I may end up just taking this back cover off anyway, just so I can kind of take a look inside this engine. So what I may do is put this stuff aside right now. Take this, I think it's pretty easy to remember which way that goes. I'm going to take this back cover off, do a quick look inside of this engine, since that's what I do. Whether it's a car engine or an airplane engine, you all know I like messing with engines. Like I said, there's really no reason for me to do this other than just pure curiosity, just to see the inside of a nice looking engine. This engine only has about less than 4 full tanks of fuel on it, but because of the tuning and starting and stopping, it's probably got 5 or 6 runs. Oh, very nice. Let's zoom in here so we can see this a little bit better. So, exactly what I would have expected. Very pristine looking engine. You can see there's the crank pin extends so that it can engage in this, which is part of the starting mechanism, starting shaft, and there's a gasket on there. So this engine obviously is in perfect condition. I'm not sure if I'm going to bother taking the head off or not. There's really no reason to, but I do have to put this thing back on and engage that. Take this, let's see this. Oh, it went down like that, so this goes like this. And then just engage that, and then I can put these screws back in place here. I'm not sure what size my head screws are there. That's the size of the head screw, and because it's such a deep, I don't even know if I'm going to be able to loosen that up by hand or not. I probably have to go heat this head up really hot and then put an opening wrench on this, but I'm not going to bother doing that. Opening up the back plate was enough for me. But anyway, so I just have to assess whether I can fix that pull starter and get this thing going again. So that was just a very, very quick look at this Vertex VX16 engine.